fresh and fit, right? Fresh and fit. Obviously, I was familiar with what happened. I seen everybody reacting to it. One of the reactions that I got or that I was able to pay attention to was the lead attorney, right? Shout out to TLA. Shout out to the lead attorney. Phenomenal. Absolutely exceptional YouTuber. I don't even want to reduce the lead attorney or any of my fellow content creators as YouTubers. I want to say that they are phenomenal content creators. Shout out to the lead attorney. Shout out to everybody that's putting in the work on a regular basis. More than 95, 96, 97% of content creators fail. It's a greater number of failure when it comes to content creators than it is of people starting their own business, their own small business. It's a fact. Over 95, 96, 97% of content creators, people that start a YouTube channel, people that try to quit their job, become content creators, 95, 96, 97% of them fail. It's a fact. It is one of the hardest things for you to do. If you succeed as a content creator, it should trump anything that you've done before that. It should trump anything that you've done before that. And so when I see my fellow content creators, whether I like them or whether I dislike them, I have to give them some level of props because they are successful at what they do. And so that takes us over to Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit. Now, these are young guys, and I'm not sure exactly how old they are, but I'm sure that they're in their upper 20s or early 30s. I'm thinking that they're in their mid to upper 20s, right? And these are guys that wind up having a platform that was wildly popular. And when I say wildly popular, I'm saying wildly popular. I mean, one thing that you can't say is that they didn't work very hard, and that they had popularity for what it was that they was doing. Now, when I seen this emergency meeting live, because I seen this pop up on my algorithm way before everybody started reacting to it, I said, what is this? So I watched a portion of it and I said, this is very interesting. So let me go ahead and play a little bit of it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts on what's going on.
Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Fit
Fast forward
podcast, man. As you guys know, we had a show scheduled earlier with
I'm a fast forward. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Cancel because we got some really sucky news.
Crazy news.
Yeah, crazy news, real talk.
Yeah.
Right now we're live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. And guys, I mean,
is this the end, bro? Because we got some bad news, man. I mean, when I heard, I was shocked because I mean, we love YouTube, man.
Yeah.
We love streaming.
Yeah.
And at this point, I feel like our whole lives are revolved around streaming and like adding value to people online. It's just like it won't be the same, bro.
Yeah.
What we heard.
In 2020, guys, as you guys know, I was working for the government, right? I was a special agent of Homeland Security. He worked for Wix, we'll just call it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wix.com, yeah.
And he was a tech support. I was arresting bad guys, etc. We started this podcast. We did our first episode on October 26th, 2020. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
so what they're basically saying is that they took a leap. They bet on themselves. I'm gonna give y'all the real. I'm not gonna tell you the thing that y'all want to hear. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth of what my thoughts are based off of what's being communicated here. They saying that, we started a platform. He was an FBI agent. The other one was working at Wix.com. They took a leap of faith. They created a podcast. They invested in themselves. They went into this apartment, so on and so forth. And they said, we're going to start a platform and we're going to do some great things or whatever, so on and so forth, right? So they started this platform and obviously it became wildly popular, but let's continue.
Yeah, Chris was there. The apartment was all empty and shit. And, and we had our first podcast. If you guys go back and watch it, like the thing was all zooming in and out and everything else like that. And it was all messed up.
It was like we're at a house club.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah. It was literally, but we got it figured out. We got the lighting fixed and, we continue to improve. Fresh landed some really good guests early on.
I'm going to be reading the super chat shortly.
And continues to get us a great guest. And
we made hours of content in the streets, TikTok, Patreon.
Yeah.
You know, many nights, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Chris was there too.
While working jobs.
While working jobs.
And then I'll never forget. I get an email, November 14th. Internal Affairs. Hey, we need you to come in for an interview. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go, right? And I'm working at the government. I'm sitting at my desk, writing up a report, and I see this email. And this is 2020 November. And I, I go, I let my supervisor know, hey, I got to go up to, the Internal Affairs office, right? Because it's not at the same building as us. And, I go over there and they take my phone. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? And then, and then they're like, they didn't want to tell me, but they're like, hey, it's part of an internal investigation. Next day I meet up with the special agent in charge. And they tell me, hey, it has to do with your YouTube. And right there it clicked. I was like, wait, hold on. Okay.
All right. So long story short, what he's basically saying is that, like most of us, when we start our journey during YouTube, most of us have a regular job. Most of us have a regular job, right? I know the lead attorney, he was still practicing, and now I believe, I'm not sure, I think that he's retired now because he's made so much money on YouTube. Let's just be real, right? Me personally, I retired in 2017, but it wasn't off of YouTube. I retired in 2017 just based off of the fact that I was doing well. I got out of the restaurant business. No, I'm sorry, 2019. My father died in 2017. In 2019, I decided to get out of the restaurant business. My other business was doing well. I retired. I quit my job. A lot of people are already familiar with this story. My bag chasers have seen my W-2s. So obviously you guys can validate all of this other type of stuff, right? Went and got my Pistons tickets, floor seats, became a season ticket holder on the floor. And I was set to live happily ever after. Got bored, decided to go full-time into content creation, got an offer I couldn't refuse to go back into corporate America. And that's where I'm still at today, still contemplating when it is that I'm going to leave corporate America. But I still have that in my back pocket. But a lot of content creators wind up blowing up. Some content creators, I'm not going to say a lot. A lot is relative because we only know the people that we know. But the fact of the matter is most people fail when it comes to content creation, and so they still have to keep their regular jobs every day, right? It starts off as a hobby or it starts off as something that you aspire to do, but then you wind up having to quit your regular job, so on and so forth. They've been so successful and they've created, a platform that generates so much revenue regardless of where it is that you stand. You can't deny the fact that they work their ass off. You cannot deny, because I don't care what type of content you put out, you will not be successful if you do not put in the work, regardless. You cannot be successful if you don't put in the work. And the one thing that you can't take away from them, you can say that, I don't like the fact that they got pissed that everybody was reacting to their stuff and had negative things to say about them. I know that I'm familiar with, they sent copyright strikes to literally, I heard tens and hundreds of YouTube content creators or whatever, and then they had to walk that back, so on and so forth, right? But the fact of the matter is, you don't agree with that, but you have to be able to take the meat and spit out the bones. They had some goodest, dedicated work ethic, right? You may not have liked Fresh, because Fresh may not have been as inspirational as far as a person that you take advice from on, how to use your car to get girls, but you can't say that Fresh wasn't a great networker. And so to be objective, you have to say, they put in the work. Let me play a little bit more, and then I'm going to give you my finishing thoughts on this, because I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be 100% honest about what my thoughts are.
They probably think that I'm recording videos on my phone.
A little bit.
I remember you were there. Yeah. We had Andrew here. And I was like, well, we got people working for us now. There's people that depend on us. You had pretty much quit your gig. So I was like, all right, I'm going to resign. And I walked in December 5th, turned in all my stuff. And I walked away from the U.S. government. It was a good, six-figure job. It was stable. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You guys know on my Fed Reacts, you guys see how I talk when I'm talking on that channel. And
somebody tell me whether or not all of their channels are demonetized, right? Because I know he got the Fed Reacts channel. I know the Fresh and Fit channel was both of them. And then I know Fresh, which I think his name is Walter, I think he got his own channel too. Somebody tell me whether or not all of their channels are demonetized or if it's just the Fresh and Fit channel. But let's continue.
Yeah, and I tell you guys that story to tell you that I haven't felt like that since today. And it sucks, guys. It really does suck. Fortunately, we made some moves, etc. And we kind of saw.
Damn, all channels? Sheesh. Sheesh. Man, that would hurt my heart. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That would absolutely hurt my heart. I would be 1,000% heartbroken. That's crazy. That is insane. How did they get them all? How did they get them all? Oh, man. Oh, man. Sheesh.
Knew that the type of content that we make, for us to be able to give you this content, we have to.
It comes at a cost.
It comes at a cost, dude.
And it won't be here forever.
Yeah. And Fresh always said this, enjoy us while you can.
Yeah. They thought it was capping, man.
Yeah.
They thought it was a joke.
And we made moves on the side knowing that this could potentially happen. And guys, the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program.
All right, so let me give my thoughts. Y'all said they got over $100,000 a month in super chats alone. Sheesh. Sheesh. The one thing that's in the air for everybody is that nobody actually knows why they got kicked off. Everything that we're saying and everything that we're talking about is pure speculation. Nobody actually knows why they got kicked off. I believe that they know. I believe that they've communicated with YouTube and YouTube let them know exactly what it is that's wrong with them and why it is that they got kicked off the platform. I believe that they know why they got kicked off, but I don't think that they are going to divulge why they got kicked off. And so that just leaves us all to speculation, right? I heard about, which I have not watched, I've heard about the little live stream that they did off the platform where they was on Sneakos or something like that platform and they had the hood on or whatever, you know what I'm saying, imitating the KKs and all of that. I heard about, I don't know. Some people are saying it's misogyny and how it is that they dealt with the women on the platform. Some people are saying it's a combination of that the KK thing was the final straw. I don't believe that any of that stuff was the reason that they got kicked off. I don't believe that any of that stuff was the reason that they kicked off. I think that they got kicked off for something that probably was happening behind the scenes. Honestly, I think that when they tried to strike a bunch of people's channel, that they put them in the hot seat with YouTube. I think that at some point, that put them on a radar, and then maybe they tried to implement it again or something like that, or got pissed at somebody, and then it just went south from there. I don't believe that it was the hood thing that they did with Sneeko. And again, we all just left to speculate. We're not going back and, you know what I'm saying? We can't definitively say it was one thing or another thing, but it's just a combination of all of the different things. And when you get to that point, you start to put yourself, at arm's risk of then being, not being able to do it. Right? YouTube, let me tell you, YouTube will say, let's say you file a false copyright strike. Or let's say you file a copyright strike, but you may misinterpret it. YouTube gives you leniency. YouTube will be like, listen, I don't know if that's a copyright strike. You might want to take that one back. I don't know but I guess that if you do it for a whole lot of people all at the same time and you got some lawyer doing it or something like that, then that can be a problem. Here's my thoughts on it, right? Here's my honest to God thoughts. Two things. Number one, I pray to God that they diversified. I pray to God that they diversified. I know they out here riding around in Lambos. Well, I know that Fresh is. Fresh shows his off. So Fresh is out here in a Lambo and he got his trucks and stuff like that. And somebody sent me a video where he was holding a little doggy or whatever, like the pimp or something like that. I hope they diversified. I hope that they didn't put all of their stuff into one basket. I hope that they not paying payments. I hope that they paid cash for whatever it is that they got so that you don't get caught up in that wave and then having to get your stuff repossessed. Here's my learned lessons, because forget whether or not they got deplatformed. What do we take away from this and what do we learn from it? All right. The first thing that you learn from it is that whatever it is that you make, you need to go and put right back into reinvesting into what it is that you have. Whatever, I don't care if you're a rapper and you got a one-hit wonder or you dropped the hot 16 or whatever, so on and so forth. Make sure that you do not increase your lifestyle according to how much money you're making on YouTube. Make sure your assets then pay for your lifestyle, because if you ever lose it, you don't want to be dependent on this money in order for you to continue to survive or maintain whatever it is that you're doing. That's A. B, never put all your eggs in one basket. Always make sure that you have things to fall back on. C, it can happen to any of us. So I am not glad that they are kicked off, right? We don't always all agree on the different things that each other is making, but I'm going to just tell you, as content creators, what happens or how somebody is affected. I'll give you an example. It goes back to the Cameron and them situation. If you don't think part of the reason why the $1 million worth of game got their bag was as a result of what happens over with Nori and them as far as Drink Champs, is as a result of what happened over into the Breakfast Club and them getting their bag, all of them is getting bigger bags and bigger bags. It's similar to how it happens in the NBA and the NFL. You benefit from how well other content creators is doing, because then people start to understand that this is the wave and this is where they want to spend their money investing. If you don't think it is what it is with Cameron and Mace is benefiting as a result of the people that came before them that then was successful as far as their podcasting deals, that Joe Rogan paved the way for a lot of people to get paid even if they're not getting as big of bags, then you don't get it. What Fresh and Fit was doing on their side of the road and the type of content that they created is completely different, or it's largely unaffecting what I'm doing as far as from a content that I'm putting out. However, if you don't think that as a content creator, when censorship, right, was a big thing on YouTube and they was demonetizing everybody's videos, that hit everybody. When they started demonetizing the video game players because of the violence that was in those games, that started to hit everybody, right? And so I don't believe in celebrating when people are down. I just don't. And I understand that other people got different experiences with them and whatever, so on and so forth. I don't believe in celebrating when people are down. I never want anybody to lose the thing that they worked extra hard for, because that is completely different than us having a disagreement fundamentally in what it is that you believe in. I don't believe that people that's in the alphabet community should lose their humanity, although I may not necessarily agree with their lifestyle. You still deserve to work. If you're good at what you do for a living and you're good at your job, then you should be able to still run up that bag, run up that check. So I just think that I think them losing their monetization is bad for the whole industry. I do. I genuinely do. I think that, and again, I'm not their demographic. I never wanted to go on their show. People kept saying, Anton, you be in Miami. Nah, I'm straight. I'm good. Never my thing, right? But I never, ever want to see somebody else lose their platform, especially when we're in the same industry as content creators. We all content creators. I don't want to see that. That's not a good look. That's never a good look. When one actor suffers, another actor suffers. When one basketball player get a really great contract, it sets up the contract for the next basketball player to come behind them and then become successful. Never wish on another man's downfall, especially financially. Never wish on another man's downfall. That's the biggest thing. And then lastly, make sure that you do not ever raise your lifestyle up into the money that you get. Make sure that you invest the money that you make into things that make you more money, and then you can start enjoying the fruits of your labor. But never be over dependent on any of this stuff, because it could be gone tomorrow. People could, listen, forget the demonetization. People could stop rocking with you. People can genuinely just stop rocking with you and say, you know what? You fell off. We don't really like what it is that you're putting out anymore. You're not hot anymore. We don't want to continue to watch you anymore. Then what you gonna do? It happens to rappers, entertainers, podcasters. We see it happen all the time. People just fall off because they're not hot no more. They don't know how to create anymore. They had a niche. It was hot at the time. It's not hot anymore. They don't know how to adapt. They don't know how to move into a different market. And so their time is up. So it's a lot. It's a lot of gems that we can take from this. And again, I understand that different people have different experiences with them. My experience, I never had one with them. I don't take a side. I did feel a certain type of way about certain things that was happening with Kevin Samuels, but Kevin Samuels was alive to handle it at that time in particular, so that wasn't my business. But the fact of the matter is, I genuinely don't want people to lose. And I see people in the chat, they say, well, they disrespected a lot of people's ancestors. You do too. We've all done stuff in our lifetime that somebody else didn't like or somebody else felt disrespected as a result of it. Do you then deserve to lose your job as a result of that also? And again, I'm not YouTube. I can't determine whether or not they should be monetized or demonetized. I hope they get their monetization back. I don't have any dog in the fight as far as what it is that they got. But listen, this is the pot calling the kettle black. If you do not have a direct conflict with them, then I don't see why you should be wishing for somebody else's downfall. Everybody in their lifetime has done something that somebody else disagreed with or somebody else felt disrespected by, but nobody is wishing for you to lose your job as a result of it. Come on, man. Come on, man. And I think that they'll be all right. They're going to figure it out. Everybody go through things in their life. I had lost my job in 2008 during the recession. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody has a down part. But don't kick people while they down. If I'm going to be in competition with you, I want to beat you while you up. I don't want to win by technical default. I don't want to win as a result of, hey, well, you got disqualified, so now I get the gold ring. Nah, I'm just different. I'd rather compete, and I want to compete on a whole nother wave. I don't want to compete in the way that everybody else. People say a win is a win. Not for me. I think how you win matters.